Good evening, everyone. Welcome to round. It says round 4. That's not correct. It's round 6 of the ESR ACC GT Challenge Series of season 4. That's correct. I am Cole McCray, and today we are joined by Justin Swan. Say hello, Justin.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, it's good to be here. We are today at Suzuka Circuit in Japan. Wonderful circuit. I absolutely adore it. And we are seeing some fantastic qualifying action going on with our drivers right now. It's not scrolled up correctly, but we will make that visible. Albert Arjona setting a 2-minute .534. Fantastic lap, but Matt Higgs is right behind him, only 3/10 and some change slower. So it's kicking off. The competition is fierce as it's ever been.
Yeah, and I think Higgs wants revenge for the race at Kyalami. You know, he had pole. He knows that's his best track, and you know he's kicking himself after having an early accident, which he wasn't quite able to recover from. And I think all season long he's found that his rival on the track has been the dynamic duo of Arjona and Castano Munoz. So right now he's in the middle of them, and I think he really wants to bring this win home today. He's trying.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's had no shortage of success, at least so far. In practice, he set a fantastic lap. He was on the pole for business, not that it really matters. But he had the first 2 minute I had seen in a long time. But Arjona is following it up. Looks like I believe Munoz is actually bookending the podium. So the unofficial team of Arjona and Munoz is in fighting form as ever. And of note, actually, the director showing us Rachel Guerin, who was looking like she might not have made it for a spell, but she's actually shown up. As you see in the chat, she needed to pick up a friend whose car died, and it looked like it ended up working out.
It's great to see, and she's, even though she might not be starting in the front of the field with limited practice time, she's out here sandwiched between Bellotti, Foster, and Ramaker. They are all within 1/10 of each other, so that's going to be an interesting battle in our mid pack.
Definitely. Well, it's there's no shortage of competition, so shall I take the time to point out, like, I mean, we saw Larry Foster in the recent Academy race at Zalder, and he was doing very well. Had a couple of unfortunate incidents, but you know that this kind of happens. But everyone's been fighting for him. Did I not see John Archie? Yes, 5th place. There he is. So he was another racer again who had some a little bit poor luck in the Academy race earlier, but is 5th. You know, in this extremely tense field. There's a lot of competition here, so not too shabby from anyone. If we look down the order a smidge, we shall see that there are 22 people. Justin Swan in 23rd is not actually in the race; he's just doing a little bit of spy reconnaissance.
Yep, making sure that I'm on the ground reporting.
Of note, it looks like David Nelson 15th, not the best qualifying. It seems like he's swapped roles this week. Normally he's falters in the Academy a little bit, and, you know, not intentionally, of course, but he falters a little bit and then pulls out a stellar result in the GT Challenge consecutively. But seems like he's done the opposite, because he won the Academy race today and is now in 15th, which is a little bit lower than is traditional for the Nelson.
Yeah, I mean, he said he found some real time in the Ferrari this week, and felt that he was a lot more comfortable in the car. Interestingly enough, in the Academy race, he was carrying 40 kilograms of ballast, and he still managed to pull out some really solid times there. So maybe he's having trouble adjusting to a more nimble car, or maybe this just isn't his track. I'm pretty sure he hasn't raced here much, if maybe one time. So that he might be pretty green on this track, which would explain a lot.
That would explain a lot, and it makes a ton of sense too. It is a challenging track. I was actually yesterday I was messing around in my free time with a friend and trying to. He doesn't do any sim racing, so we were just messing around, and I was trying to teach him Suzuka. And there's a lot of blinds. Well, not a lot of blind, but there's some blind corners, but they're all a little less intuitive if you don't know how it goes. A lot of double apex, decreasing radius corners. The hairpin is a little bit frustrating sometimes. Degner, Dunlop, all that stuff is it can be kind of frightening sometimes, especially to newbie. But in any
Oh yeah.
case, here's our qualifying order up on screen now. We have Albert Arjona holding off the Matt Higgs, keeping that title. For second or first place, Matt Higgs in second place. Javier Castaño Muniz in third. Gianluca De Luca in fourth. John Archie in fifth. Andrew Burke in the sixth place. He was actually fighting for the first place in the most recent 3D Speed race, but the competition is fiercer here, it seems. Rounding up the top 10, we got Sean Kenny in seventh, Gianmarco Silvestri in eighth, Carlo Durazio in nine, and Stambuk in 10th. Apologies, Stambuk. I've even forgotten your first name.
Brandon, I
Um,
believe.
what's that?
I believe it's Brandon.
Brandon? Okay, Brandon Stambuk. I'll
Yes.
just assume that's right. So very, very fierce competition. Now looking down at the pack of 15th, we have David Nelson and 17th Rachel Guerin. It seems they can't escape their academy rivalry that started a couple seasons ago, I believe. So I'm
To the
looking forward to
bone.
seeing that. We have one last minute entrant, I believe, Josiah Jerome.
It would appear so. So we are looking like we're going to have a 22 car field. It's going to be an interesting one. We've got a couple new faces, one of them being Chris Stevenson in the Nissan. He was happy to join up in his own pet project of a car coming hot out of the academy. So hopefully he can have a good result today. His academy result wasn't as planned. He had brake failure, and that was not good. He managed to get it fixed,
Yeah.
though. His pit crew did everything they could to get him back on track, and he actually managed to get out there just in time to recover 6 laps on the next placed car and gain a spot. So
Yeah, I
never give
remember that.
up.
He was battling with Carolina, right? I think.
No,
I
he
remember
was he
seeing
was
that.
actually battling with Legoshi because Legoshi was in the
Oh yeah,
pits who had gone up 6 laps on him
that's
because
right.
he had been in the pits 6 laps sooner, but he had enough time to get back out on the track after completely redoing the brake lines. So
Fantastic. Well, props for him for staying. I remember giving him a little bit of a tip of the hat to stay in the race, even though against certain doom, but he actually made up a spot, so that's good. Great on him.
never give up. That's the endurance racing attitude even in a sprint race.
Never stop, never stopping.
Nope.
Um, so previously we're gonna go over the standings of the championship really quickly. This is as current as of now, round six. Andy Burke is sitting comfortable in the lead at 237 points. Albert Ahona follows right behind him with 220, so he's setting himself up to overtake. Gianluca De Luca, oh no, Richard Higgs, which is really Matt Higgs, is in third place with 171. Gianluca De Luca in fourth, 154. Javier Eugeni in fifth, so he's not here today with 147, which you were saying earlier is a shame. We'll go into that a little bit later. Mike Stoppmeal, who has departed the series a few races ago, in sixth with 137. Jeff in seventh with 134. Rachel Guerin with 130 in eighth. Carlo Durazio in ninth with 123, and Chris Ramaker rounding out the top 10 with 105. So a lot of competition here. Let's get this going as our race starts rolling. So,
Here's John Archie had trouble getting his car firing, and the starting order is a disaster. So hopefully that gets sorted out very quickly because he has limited time. Looks like he's going to get it back under control here.
yeah,
And
it seems like it. Yeah, so as always, we do about a quarter lap, a third a lap rolling start here, just for sake of simplicity. This Suzuka's always had kind of problems with starting a lap, at least for us, just because of the chicane at the very end, and everyone kind of gets bottled up. The whole traffic effect takes place. But looks like they're getting through it just fine. Go double file as we come to the line.
like they say, double file will make you smile. That's a local
That it
track
will.
saying over here.
You're not wrong, sir. And no one's starting from the pits, at least yet. And we are coming to the line. The green flags will wave. Proper pause for effect.
Any second now. There we go.
Now. Okay, there we go. We are on for round 6 of the ESR GT Challenge Season 4. So, we grab...
Looks like Burke goes wide. He's looking to rejoin in front of Gianmarco Silvestri. He gets it done, not without going 3 wide first. There's a bit of a tightening of the pack, and it looks like they got it sorted back there. We have Rachel Guerin going into the pit, into the sand pit to avoid the accident. No contact needed, but she did lose the entire field of position.
Yeah, it certainly seems like it. Matt Higgs with a fantastic start off of the first turn, just putting Arjona in his place. It seems, making up almost just over a second actually. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
John Archie has picked up a spot. It seems. Oh no, just kidding. He's right where he was.
Another big winner for the start will be Jeff. He jumps, I think, about 6 spots.
Yeah, looking at qualifying, he qualified 12. Yeah, so 4 spots, but still pretty significant.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we got a Ferrari sideways, but nice recovery. I believe that's Silvestri. Or it might have been Benvenuti, as the cameraman doesn't know what to do with himself.
All right. Let's
Meanwhile, we already
see.
have a car in the pits. That's just a Swan. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's just the Dunlop field reporting.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hope today that we see some better luck. We've had a couple bad luck chucks this season. One being Sean Kenny, another one being Chris Ramaker in his Lexus. They've had some absolutely horrendous luck. So here's hoping they're able to get the job done today cleanly.
Yeah, absolutely. Arthur Bellotti, who was another carryover from the academy race this morning, doing
And it
well. He
looks
had a
like
spot of.
Benvenuti is off. I'm sorry to interrupt you. He's
That's okay.
off coming out of the 130R along with Daniel Turcotte. They're going to rejoin, but it's very dicey.
That's
Questionable. Turcotte gets in the Rachel. Rachel keeps it straight. Velotti gets in. Benvenuti. I'm getting my cars mixed up. Taps into the side of Chris Stevenson and also recovers it. So no major damage on anyone here, but that was very, very dicey. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
to
Sorry
say the
about
least.
that.
That's okay. It looks like John Archie's going around the outside of, I believe it's DeLuca. That's an Aston Martin for sure. I can't read the
That
number
is that
because.
is DeLuca. That is
Okay.
DeLuca. No.
Oh no, we have a Ferrari off. That is the Ferrari. I believe that's David Nelson. Nope, it's not David Nelson. It is Silvestri. Nope. It's Andy Burke. Burke went off in turn 3, I believe that was, and
Burke is
lost
the
quite a few
lime green
spots.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like he settled somewhere around ninth.
Hmm.
Well, he's going to have a lot to do today if he doesn't want to fall behind in points any more than he already has with Arjona hard charging late in the season.
Exactly, exactly. Looks like, it caused a little bit of a thing with Silvestri around as they got through Degner 1. That was sketchy, but
That was very sketchy. Getting a pass done in Degner is nigh impossible. So forcing that move there shows that he really has some impetus to make his way back up to the front.
yeah, we've seen moves like that go wrong more often than right. But it got hairy, but I mean, no harm, no foul. I guess this time.
So far,
You'll
these
notice,
drivers are really lucky.
yeah,
A
right.
lot of these accidents were just one wrong bump away from being an absolute calamity, but instead we have just a few guys taking to the grass.
Absolutely. And it seems like Matt Higgs is just pulling on Arjona 2 seconds as they start to approach the final sector of lap 2 here.
Yes, and Ramaker just got by, I believe that is Nelson coming out of Spoon, and looks like he's going to hold it through the 130R into Casino Triangle. That is the name of that. Oh no, we have an
Is it?
off
That's Arthur
from.
Bellotti.
Yes, it is. He's
So
going to have to be careful about this rejoin here. It's a fast corner.
I think that's probably an alright rejoin, just considering that most of the people are trying to cut hard on the inside of the final turn. But you always want to be careful. Looks like the battle between Archie and DeLuca is heating up yet again.
Ooh, that's spicy.
DeLuca made a pass attempt around turn 2, but Archie took it right back. And now it seems like DeLuca might even be having a problem with Kenny as we come back. Looks like the 93 of Benvenuti is in the pits. So that Ferrari has had all it can take. There is a mandatory pit stop halfway through the race where they have to take tires and fuel, but generally you want to do that as little as possible. Looks like the Aston Martin of Durazio is catching as well. We might get
Okay.
Jeff in the mix too if this gets too much worse. Look at that train.
And
James
while that's
Butler.
going on, we've got Ramaker, Nelson, and Foster just constantly dancing back and forth in a triangle of death. I smell problems here. Let me put it that way. I think we're going to see something happen happen here. It's a matter of time. And unfortunately, it involves Remricker again. I don't want to put the whammy on him, but it just, I can see it. My spidey sense, it's tingling, and
We have cars off.
hopefully
74. That is the
we have
James
Durazio
Butler.
off as well.
James Butler and I believe that's Stambuk are off, coming right up to Spoon. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Let's
It
see if
looked
we
like
can get
Durazio was
a
off
let's see
in
if we
Spoon as well.
let's see if we can get a little replay going.
Awesome. Oh no, and while you're getting the replay, John Archie gets it wrong going through the 130R, hits the curbs on the way out, narrowly avoids the wall. Very narrowly avoids the wall, but now he's forced to rejoin going into Casino Triangle, and there's really nowhere for him to go. Hopefully Burke doesn't clip him, and it looks like everything is all set.
That was an absolute nightmare coming to Spoon watching the replay, ladies and gentlemen. That was that probably couldn't have gone any worse than it did. We saw hold on one quick sec. Yeah, so I believe James Butler was the culprit for that. I wasn't entirely able to focus on that, but he hit Jeff, it looked like, and spun him into the wall before, who collected like 3 cars, and they all ended up in a big old pile at the inside of Spoon. So that was rough.
Well, I guess my spidey sense tingled in the wrong spot. Now we have Turcotte side by side with Bellotti and Chris Stevenson here going up the S's. So despite all the contact, it looks like the field is relatively stuck together still. It's one of those things where there's such a train of cars here. They're all so packed. Oh no, Chris Remricker goes wide at the top of Spoon into Dunlop, but somehow he makes it back on in time to make Degner.
Yeah. So we can we're watching the battle of Turcotte and Jeff right now, who's currently also holding up Bellotti, and you can just see that front of that Jaguar is destroyed. It's not a happy car. And you can see Turcotte's trying, it's got a huge pace. Turcotte also appears to be slightly damaged, but not as much as the other one. Oh, gets a little punt and spun around by Bellotti for the hairpin. Oh no, and Hop is trying to make a move because Bellotti got slowed down by that. That was about as clear cut as it got. Just overestimated the turn, or the speed of Turcotte, it seems, who is battling with Jeff as well. That is just,
Unfortunate. So
yeah,
we've
it's just
got some
unfortunate.
serious damage on a number of players here. Hopefully they can keep it together. The pit window opens in 12 minutes, which here is going to be about 6 laps. But with that damage, they should be able to do it in just under 6 laps, because if they
Yeah.
run a bit slow, as long as they can keep it together, it looks like Chris Stevenson's got some serious damage going in the Spoon. He can't keep it straight. Must have suspension damage. That might be his race here. Oh, there he goes. He was trying to hold on to it. He gets it straight now, but he might have to suck up the pride and just deal with the time loss of pitting now and again later.
Talking
Get
about
fresh rubber
Stephenson.
out there and go for it.
It's just Stephenson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. It looks like Butler has extreme damage now. By the way, his
Yep.
hood is worse than it was before. He's limping it home, so to speak. He's definitely got a meatball flag.
he might have taken another hit. It's only possible. Oh yeah, that looks even worse. And it looked
Yeah.
bad to begin with. I would be shocked if he didn't pull off now. And
I
yeah,
don't
he's
know how he can do
into the
it.
pits. Oh, it's smart. Paul Hop also in the pits. The number 488.
Yeah, it looks like there's some serious problems here. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's like a little battle emerging between Gianmarco Silvestri, Gianluca De Luca, and David Nelson, with John Barker right in front. Yeah, John Barker. I still can't get their names straight half the time.
I get John and James, Butler and Barker backwards to the point where I just call them Butler and Barker. I can't.
Yeah, right.
I can't be bothered.
I try to say everyone first name, last name whenever I can. Yeah. Sorry about that. I just had to ring at the doorbell, so.
Do what you have to. I'll cover for you. No problem here.
Okay.
So we're flipping. Sure. So we're flipping through here. It looks like Chris Stevenson decided to try to just keep the car out and limp through this. I think that strategy will pay off for him. I have a feeling that the time save that the drivers that pitted immediately, other than maybe someone like Butler, is not going to be entirely worth it. I think he's going to make out like a bandit here. We've got a 4-way battle going on between Rachel Guerin, David Nelson, DeLuca, and Barker. No, not Barker. DeLuca, Guerin, Silvestri, and Nelson looks to be a pretty tight four-way battle. These cars, if they're smart, they'll just, freight train each other, and they'll be able to do some serious catching up here. Taking a look back at our leaders, it looks like Arjona has closed about a half second on Higgs. Xavier Castro Munez is also starting to gain back on Arjona as well. So it looks like the Porsche drivers have elected to pick up the pace here. They're going to give it all they can. Now, we've seen in the past that they've split strategies, the two Gulf cars. We've seen one tend to go for an overcut and one to go for an undercut. I'm not sure what their strategy is going to be here, but given the fact that where the pack is right now, I'm not sure if it's going to be wise to go for the undercut. I think the undercut might stick them in a bad spot. We'll have to see how it all times out, but they might get away with it. Let's see here. What else is going on in the field?
Right now, we're watching battle between Rachel Guerin and Gianluca DeLuca. They were also involved with John Barker for a moment, but that they appear to have made a mistake and got behind. Although the twin Ferraris of David Nelson and Gianmarco Silvestri are catching up to them as well, so we're starting to have a big old train form.
John Archie is in the pits. What happened?
I was just going to make note of that. He must have taken some damage earlier. While I was away, I didn't get to exactly see.
I
Took a
didn't
quick
see it
peek.
either.
We took
It's
a
a real
quick peek
shame.
in the pits. Sorry, but we couldn't find any damage. At least not I could see.
I see. Well, Garen, who went from missing the majority of practice and a good chunk of qualifying, has finally found her footing and has been able to knife through the disaster zone, one might say, and has pushed her way all the way up to 12th. And she is heavily pressuring DeLuca. And interestingly enough, the next car after that, I'm not sure how damaged it is in all actuality, but the next car after that would be Barker, and Barker, I can see visually has some serious damage to his side. It might be mostly cosmetic, and it might not be slowing him down any, but it's within the realm of possibility that Rachel manages to pull out a top 10 here, especially as pits begin to cycle. So we'll have to see how that one develops.
Definitely, definitely. It's of note, like, I don't mean to jinx, but David Nelson, John Marcus Vessi continuing to catch up to the battle of Guerin and DeLuca. So we might see David Nelson versus Rachel Guerin yet again one more time, just like old times, I suppose. And we could have that happen. Most of the battles are kind of spread out. The Matt Higgs has maintained distance to Albert Arjona behind, and Muniz behind him, but it hasn't gone anywhere. It's just stayed about the same distance, so that's kind of leveled off. We do have a battle right now between Jeff and Bellotti. We might take a quick peek at that.
Yeah, it looks like Jeff is doing all he can to hold him off, but with the damage he sustained, I don't
Whoa,
know if
was
it's
that a
going to be
Ferrari?
very viable.
Yeah, I don't think so. I thought I saw Ferrari, but it was Silvestri getting very out of shape through Degner too. He ended up recovering it, so that's good.
And it looks like, who is that? It looks like Hop just moving out of the way for the blue flags through the hairpin here. Looks
Is
to
it a Ferrari?
me, yeah. He was just being polite through the hairpin.
I believe it's Hop.
Um, Hoppa. You're right.
Or
I'm
it could be
sorry.
Benvenuti, but I think it's Hop.
No, yeah, it's definitely Hoppa. Um, let's see. What else do we have here? The battle between Larry and Chris Remaker is just not dying down at all. Right on top of each other since the start of this race. And hopefully Larry isn't losing any time trying to drive in his own mirrors, because I definitely think he has a good chance to make a charge here, especially with a relatively new face here as far as the Sunday series goes, being Stambler. An unknown quantity, one might say.
So no, Andrew Burke has made good progress on Carlo Durazio, and he's had movement, but it's kind of ended up a net zero for him right now. Currently making up some time on the Aston Martin, but he's got a lot of room to go before he can make too much more progress. After that, Kenny ahead is quite some distance out, and then up to Nunez is another about 10 or 15 seconds. So he's got an uphill battle ahead of him.
Yeah, and Silvestri seemed to have gone wide in the first corner. Rejoined coming off the second corner. Jeff gets by him. His car is very
Whoa!
loose right now.
Whoa!
Belodi!
Ooh, contact! Oh!
They keep it together. They keep it together, but it looks like Silvestri's car is not behaving well, and Belodi is doing all he can to keep it off of him. Not the greatest move by Silvestri, but I don't think it was intentional. I think the car just got
Yeah.
loose on him and it walked over. So good for the drivers to keep it off, but he's given some respite to Jeff here.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of surprised Jeff has been able to hold on as long as he has. Silvestri with a little dive through the hairpin. Or no, sorry, Bellotti with a dive through the hairpin under Silvestri. Silvestri goes very wide and lets him have it, more or less. I wonder if his tires might be a little cooked.
It might be a little bit early, but it could be. Silvestri's had some really bad luck as far as getting sideways and getting slidey early in the race and causing some time. Now we have these cars. If you can get to Barker right now, they're going side by side into the 130R. No, but he thinks better of it and slots in behind him. Doesn't want to risk it.
So this is the battle that's still brewing, as it has been for a while. David Nelson behind Rachel Guerin behind DeLuca behind Barker, and that's not Ramaker. Is that DeLuca ahead? I believe
No,
so.
that's Barker ahead. DeLuca made the pass going through the 130. Barker backed off, and now Rachel is pouncing on the
Ah,
wounded car of Barker. I believe
she's
that
going.
no, she's
Or
looking to the
no, she backs
inside.
out. She made a little look, but not much more than that.
No, I think she's going to be forced to stick behind him. I don't think she's going to be able to make a pass going up the S's. Or through Degner even. She might have to wait till after the hairpin, which is going to hurt, but it is what it is.
Well, there's not much more that she can really do. I mean, there's not a lot of great passing opportunities. I mean, if you have the drive, you can force it like Andy Burke did a couple of laps ago, but generally that's not recommended
No,
because it
not
can
at
end up
all.
hurting you more than it hurts your opponent. Although she's gonna try through Dunlop side by
And she
side.
gets it done.
Very nice.
Very
A
nice.
little wide, but hangs on to it.
I don't think you can go through Degner without hanging on.
Yeah, right.
And Paul Hoppe is off again coming out of the second Degner.
Ooh, and looks
Unfortunate.
like Nelson is going to try and force the issue with Barker as well, going through the hairpin. Although Barker isn't saying, nuh-uh, I already let one of you fools through. You're going to have to try a little harder than that. Going around the outside, which will transition to an inside around spoon. Now this could be fun. If David does the dive, oh, nope, he slots in. Says, okay, all right, fair enough.
He might be setting up. He might be setting up for the run. Going down here, he should have the draft on him if he sets up properly. Looks like it's going to be tight. But Barker's car is wounded. If he gets in the
Yeah.
draft, he's got this.
Well, he's not in the draft too well. He kind of slotted in at the last second there, but
Yeah, it's a shame. There was a real opportunity there.
props to both the gentlemen for keeping it clean. It was a bold move for Nelson, but it could have been really successful. But Barker forced the issue and said, nuh-uh, not this time. Taking a
It
quick peek up
seems
at
like
the leaders, we got Matt Higgs still up in first. Again, maintaining that distance, 2.3
oh no, I'm
seconds.
sorry to interrupt you, but under
Good.
braking, Bellotti just narrowly misses Jeff. Looks like he misjudged his braking and put it up into the wall. He bounced off the safer barriers, and looks like he's all right. But that should add to his pit
Let's
stop. So
watch it.
pit stops here are going to be absolute calamity.
Did you say
Pits
he
are
hit the pit
open.
wall? I guess we'll watch.
No, he hit the safer barrier on the outside of the casino triangle.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, not good. Backed up a little bit. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but also could have definitely been a lot better.
Yeah, and pit lane opens in 20 seconds here. Unfortunately, for the likes of Chris Stevenson, Silvestri, Bellotti, Nelson, Jeff, they all missed the early stop, so they have to go one more time around. I expect all of
Ugh.
them to dive into the pits immediately.
Yeah,
Um,
I believe it.
yeah, I do think though that the big winner coming out from the pits will be Jeff. I have a feeling that he's going to put together some type of tremendous drive and expect to see him back in the top 10.
Apologies for the interruption. Oh, just kidding. Well, it was we were about to see an instant replay what happened last lap with David Nelson and John Barker, but Barker closed the door too hard, so we weren't gonna have another one of those.
All right.
But yes, I fully expect Jeff to dive in as quickly as possible. I mean, he's made it work. I would have expected him to dive earlier, like get rid of that damage. But there is definitely an argument to be made for staying out, even with a stricken car.
I mean, the pit lane here is just so long. You're going to
Yeah,
be losing 60 seconds on that pit lane, close
yeah,
to
you're
it.
gonna be losing half a lap.
Yeah, and that's not even pitting the car. That's just getting down the lane under pit lane speed. It is 102 stalls here.
Huge.
Absolutely massive.
So we
I
have
expect him to dive.
John Barker going in the pits, following Andy Burke. David Nelson elects to stay out. That's kind of his MO, as we say.
Yeah, and Jeff dives into pit lane.
Jeff as well. You predicted correctly.
Yep. Nice clean entry as well. Gianmarco Silvestri is joining him in pit lane. Let's see, who else do we have? Is there any other early adopters?
Larry Foster has now come
Baker.
Larry Foster's now come to attack from Chris Ramaker. They're
Burke also
following
pit
Brandon
early.
Stambouk. Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
No, I said Burke also is pitting. So we've got a couple cars in the pit lane right now. We've got Burke, Bellotti. No, I'm sorry, not Bellotti. Burke, Silvestri, Barker, Jeff, Stevenson entering pit lane now. So it's getting hectic down here.
Yeah. So this is the point in which my my map and my timing become useless because we don't know who's doing what anymore. But that's a hyperbole, but it does make it a little more interesting to try and find the battles. Looks like we got something going on between nope, that we're watching that right now. Larry Foster, Chris or Ramaker.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the battle to watch while we wait for these pits to cycle out. I will say this though, the 95 of Burke, his pit strategy, if he's able to get a window here, he could really push hard because he has about 50 seconds track clear front and rear of him. So
Yeah.
if there was any time for him to push unabated, this is
Good
hot
move.
lap time. He needs to
Yeah.
put it down.
Well, and Burke is shown to be very, very confident when it comes to being out in clean air. He's also a potent weapon when it comes to passing, but it's much he not to say he struggles, but he truly shines during this kind of hot lap mode. So this will be where he can make up some serious time.
Yeah, and while you were saying that, the number 488 of Hoppa caught the curb on the exit of 130, spun it, grazed the wall, just like our buddy
Bellotti.
whose name Archie, excuse me, couldn't think.
Archie.
And now he immediately dives into pit lane, thinks better of staying out, and he's going to get this mandatory pit stop done now. Get some fresh rubber on there, get a new chance at life.
Yeah, well, there are a few better. I mean, you never want to crash, but there are a few better places to do it than right before the pit window, right before the pit. Excuse me, while a pit window is in effect. So,
Absolutely.
if you're gonna do it, might as well do it there. And as we
And
saw Hoppa in the pits there.
Yeah, unfortunately for Jeff, he came out in the front of his stack, but he is not entirely clean. He's got a Ferrari chasing him down, and if he does make up any significant time, he'll be catching up to the car of Durazio. So, looks like he might not be as big a winner as he hoped, but at least he's getting that damage fixed early. He's able to get back out there and make a charge, see what he can do in that thing.
You're absolutely correct. When we take a small moment to check back in on the leaders, Matt Higgs still driving away. The twin Porsches of Arjona and Munoz closer, well, not closer than ever, but they're definitely scheming something. You can tell it just in their eyes. They're trying to plan out a way to make this work. A little bit of shake and bake, mayhaps. Well, I suppose only time will tell.
I think so. So the Porsche here is absolutely fantastic. Going through the S's, going through Degner, getting out of the hole, coming out of the hairpin, spoon, 130. You can almost take flat. You just need a baby lift. My theory here, unfortunately, sorry to interrupt myself, Silvestri just got a drive-through for
I was
track
just gonna,
limits.
make note of that. Yeah, it's a shame.
But to complete my thought here, those cars suffer immensely, absolutely immensely down the two large straights going from Spoon to the 130 and down the front stretch. If they time themselves out in such a way that they are able to not interfere with each other and able to just draft off of each other, I think that's their best chance at catching Higgs. I really
I
do, because they're going to be gaining probably close to half a lap, half a second over the course of a lap if they can do it right. It's gonna be
Yeah,
tricky.
absolutely. And as we say that, Gianmarco Silvestri into a wall and pulls over to the side of the track where he teleports to the pits. It looks like he's retired. So that is
Unfortunate.
what an absolute, unfortunate scenario, a disaster of a lap. We looked, I see, like Chris Ramaker was maybe going to have a look around the inside of Larry Foster, but Foster had actually a little bit of a spooky moment where the car got a little sideways and closed the door, perhaps inadvertently, just obliterating Ramaker's pace. But that was going to be interesting. I thought it was going to be a pass attempt, but it kind of didn't work out that way.
Okay, and Arjona is the first one to pit on this train. He immediately dives into the pits after,
After
excuse me,
Higgs,
after Higgs. So it looks like they're gonna
but
split
Muniz stays
strategy.
out.
Yes. I guess they wanna hedge their bets and go 1-1.
That makes sense.
It's quite possible, though, judging by the gap of the two cars coming down pit lane, that I seen it. Higgs missed his pit stall. He had to throw it in the reverse there. That's going to
Oh
cost
no!
him some time. That's going to cost him some time. And Arjona missed his pit stall as well. He had to pump the gas.
Oh
Oh
no!
no. Both drivers making a mistake. I think Arjona's was more costly. If he had nailed it, he might have actually come out ahead of him. But unfortunately, both drivers look like they have negating accidents as far as pit lane procedure.
So we might find Muniz taking the helm
Absolutely. And this is
for a
why you
while.
hedge your bets. This is why you hedge your bets. Because
I
now
was
he can come in calm-headed.
exactly. I was predicting. So I have a very recent experience for this in 3D Speed. I had caught my teammate, and he was a little off pace. I think he overheated his tires a smidge, and uh, and he was actually a little bit slower than me. But I'm not used to that, so I was like trying to slot him behind. Unfortunately, I was battling with someone behind me, so there was a good third of a lap where we were just awkwardly dancing around each other, trying not to hit. And I was expecting to be slower. I was wondering if Muniz was trying to avoid a similar situation with Arjona, because maybe he's got a little more pace, or at least being in the draft, could potentially avoid some awkward exchanges between him and his teammate. But you're right. It could also be a case of hedging bets, and I think that's at least a part of it.
Yeah, I think it's actually I truly think that mistake by Arjona was at least double, maybe three times as much of the mistake that Higgs made. And so yeah, Arjona's coming out of the pits and going through the first
Oh,
time sector. It looks like he still hasn't hit it
is it
yet.
8, 9, 10,
Yeah.
11,
Xavier immediately
11
dives into the
seconds?
pits.
Jeez.
Ooh, that hurts. Xavier dives into the pits immediately, looking to pounce on the mistake, on the small mistake that Higgs made. I think it's absolutely possible that he comes out ahead of Higgs here. It is going to be tight, though. He cannot miss his pit stall. He has to nail this one. If he
Well, there was a
does, he'll be all right.
when they were last fighting, it was a 3-second gap more or less. And so he's got to nail his pit stop, which we're actually gonna up. He already stopped, so never mind about that.
No,
but
I mean, it's all right. Kenny also followed him into the pits. He's 13 seconds back, but he did follow him into the pits here. So any mistake from Xavier would have opened the door wide open for Kenny. It looks like both of them, they'll get through stalls. So
so
that
with that,
leaves. Go ahead.
as I was gonna say, with that, we have Matt Higgs coming up through the final chicane, and Muniz is not rolling yet.
There he goes. It's gonna be tight, but I don't think he'll have enough.
No, he's not gonna make it. I don't think. Oh, it's so close, but no.
Nope,
So
not
Muniz, you can
quite.
see him in the background. He's actually might have lost some time, so he might have botched his pit stop as well.
Yeah, he might have played the entry safe. Not quite sure. We're at the halfway point now, and I mean, it's still wide open. Higgs has been known to make a few mistakes here or there, and so far he's led a mistake-free race, which, while that's a great thing, and I hope it works for him, we'll have to see if he manages to keep together for another 30 minutes. That's been the hard part for him. No mistakes, no offs, no spins, no quarrels, nothing.
No penalties.
No penalties, nothing. Keep it clean.
So we're coming up to the timing gate here. Muniz will be 4.5 seconds, so not as bad as I thought, but it's still not a great. It's not where he wanted to be. We'll put it that way. We have the
Absolutely.
we have the number 488 car of Paul Hoppe spun again in 130R, I believe that was,
I think that's the second or third time he's done it today. He's really not getting along through there very well.
and back to
It's
the
a dangerous
pits.
corner.
Yeah,
He might be retiring here.
I wouldn't. I mean, I'd start to get frustrated after that.
I want to say when he dove into the pits after the last spin, it never cleared his pit stop. So I wonder if he didn't put fresh rubber on the car.
It's certainly possible.
In which case, this would be his third pit stop. That's unfortunate.
Yep. Yeah, it's not where you want to be. Brandon Stenbuch and Larry Foster both going for pits. As the
Okay,
battle between David Nelson and Matt Higgs. Now this is technically for position, but nope, David Nelson goes into the pits. Oh, sorry, that wasn't Matt Higgs. That was Chris Stephenson. My bad.
Larry Foster in the pits, Stanbook in the pits. Guerin is still out. DeLuca out. Durazio out. So it
Butler
looks
in.
like Butler's in. Excellent. We're almost done with pit lane here.
So you got the twin EOS Aston Martins of Durazio and DeLuca for now in first and second, and they
Yeah.
are not that close.
No, and it looks like Ben Venuti was going. He had some unfortunate stuff early. Maybe he was trying to go for a late pit strategy, have the freshest rubber at the end of the race, which is absolutely possible. We have a car. We have the
That
number
is
23
Stephenson.
car stopped on the track.
Ooh, as Matt Higgs goes by, he almost clips him.
Yeah, that's a dangerous one. The leaders are coming by him as his car was stopped on track. Perhaps engine troubles, maybe a stall.
Could be.
Didn't look like a spin. It looked like the car just died at the top of the straight. Interesting.
Well, we've had problems with you mean, was it even Stephenson who had his pedals disconnect?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
so that
He
might have
had
been a
a.
lingering effect.
It could be, although it seemed to be localized to the brake pedal. If it was a throttle problem, then I'm not quite sure what he's going to do here. So hopefully it doesn't affect the leaders. I'd hate to see that be a factor, as Xavier and Albert are closing the distance on him going into Spoon.
The Durazio in the pits. DeLuca elects to maybe follow the same strategy.
No,
Nope.
DeLuca stays out. Interesting. Interesting. Looks like he and Garen will be the last women, people standing,
People.
racers standing. Other than Ben Venuti, although I think Ben Venuti is gonna go to the bitter end here, and hope that it works out for him.
Definitely. The only battles that are kind of vaguely going on right now is Chris Ramaker versus Larry Foster. They cannot separate themselves. There's a few seconds in between them, but not much.
Yeah.
Looks
Hopefully,
like Foster got the worst pit stop of the two. Wasn't he ahead?
I think so. Oh, and there goes Chris Stevenson
Oh
right in front of
yes.
the leader.
Oh
Or
no!
okay,
Whoa, that was
he
brutal.
keeps it out of the way. He keeps it out of the way. Arjona's gonna be coming in hot though. Good thing there's a little bit of a gap there. Okay. I'm gonna guess based on the gap here with no other spill. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon.
Ooh, Stevenson.
He's waiting for Arjona to go by. Good lad.
Yeah, good choice. This still looks like looks like a little bit of overcooking going on. He has
I
done
think
his
those
pit
tires are
stop.
nice and hot.
Yeah.
Nice and hot.
Woohoo! Stevenson, I think, needs to take a little break and just drive slow for a while. Get those temps
Nah,
down.
yeah. Hopefully he doesn't collect anyone. He's having some serious trouble.
And yet we always do what we can to avoid a situation like that. But at some point you can't. You're gonna have an accident that involves some other drivers. And so I think it's the smart move right now is just to take it easy and kind of collect yourself. reanalyze the situation and try to make the best move after that.
Yeah, judging from what I can see, it doesn't appear to he doesn't appear to have any suspension damage, which would cause any lingering effects as far as steering angle or anything like that. It looks like he's just not getting along well with the Nissan. This is his first race in it for ESR, so it could just be some serious growing pains.
Certainly possible. So for now, our only two, DeLuca dove through the pits. The only two remaining are Rachel Guerin and Marco Benvenuti. I believe his first name is Marco.
Yes.
So we are coming to the end, although. Oh, never mind. That was Matt Higgs. I thought that was a Benvenuti going to the pits.
It looks like Guerin, with the way this lap has timed out, she could go 2 laps here. When she finishes this lap, she'll be at about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, maybe 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm sorry, 22 minutes and 20 seconds. So she actually could go around one more time to really, really push this pit stop and go for the ultimate overcut.
It's certainly possible. I'm looking at the timing, and she looks like she's probably going to come out behind, I would say. Okay, yeah. So behind Sean Kenny, perhaps. And
Yeah, it
maybe
looks like
even with Burke and Stambuk.
from what I can see, she's running a consistent 203 on these tires here. 203.5, 203.3, which was her best lap of the race. 204.2, 203.8, 203.3, 203. Excuse me, 204.3. So she's within the realm of consistency around a, we'll say, high 203. I'm going to take a look here and see what anybody else might be in that window. Maybe Nelson or Foster.
So Durazio. Oh, looks like DeLuca had an accident somewhere. What happened there? I did not catch that. Any
Was it
case.
an accident or was it the timing of his pit? Because he took a late pit.
Oh, you're right. You're right. He took a late pit. I forgot about that. That's correct. So Durazio is now under heavy fire from Andrew Burke, who is just eating away at that Aston Martin. And Rachel Guerin goes for pits, so she will be the second to last one. Benvenuti is our final taker, and he will have to take it this lap, I believe.
Yes,
Yes, he
yes.
will.
He should make it back in time. He should make it back in time. But in the meantime here, I'm curious where Rachel's going to come out. She was lapping consistently quicker than Larry Foster. And I can't quite remember where she entered the pits at, but Larry is just getting out of school now. So there is a real chance here that she actually undercuts her way into the top 10.
It's certainly possible.
Maybe not. Maybe she comes out in 11th because they're going through 130R now. They start to go through the casino triangle. I don't think she's off the jack stands yet.
No, she's still up.
Yeah.
So the pit light is still flashing, and the
She
engine
doesn't have a
hasn't been
great
started yet.
stall either.
There we go. She's down. Car down. She's out of the pits.
This is going to be a race. This is going to be a race for 10th place. She's not going to make it. Her pit stall is not close enough. There goes
No.
10th. She's going to come out ahead of Larry for sure, though.
Well.
Nope.
Oh, there
Not
we go.
quite.
Just barely, no.
Barely. She needed to eke out 1 or 2 more 203s. Those 204.2s really hurt her. I think she
Yeah.
has an extra 2/10 there, maybe 3/10 there, and she makes it stick. Either way, she has firmly planted herself in a battle now. So that's going to be an interesting 4-way battle to follow to the end of the race.
So like you said, she has been faster than Larry Foster. But it is one thing to be faster than someone, it is quite another to apply that and to make a pass out of it. So we'll have to see how that goes.
I believe you're quoting the late F1 commentator who I'm gonna blame my sleep deprivation, and I cannot think of his name, but I can think of the quote. I'm so sorry.
It's
And
okay.
the quote is, "It's one thing to catch a car; it's another to pass it."
Yes.
So I cannot believe I can't remember his name. I feel so horrible now.
I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell it to you. So you're gonna have to
Oh
remember.
my goodness, I'm sleep deprived. I'm going on 24 hours now. Oh, the things I do.
You gotta do less of that.
Look, man. Sometimes you look up at the clock and you realize that you're not going to be able to make it if you don't just stay up. So
It's
Pit
true.
window is closed. Benvenuti did not elect to pit, so perhaps out of frustration from having an earlier pit stop, he decided, the heck with it, I'm not going to pit. He won't be disqualified. Man, he will just have a major time penalty applied to him at the end of the race. I believe it's 90 seconds.
It said, yeah, I think it's 90 seconds. There was a while it was 120, but
It
I
might be
think
120.
I think that's old.
Oh my goodness. Matt Higgs into the pits. He had an accident.
Oh
Can we get a
no.
replay on that? We need a replay on that.
Okay, we're going for replay real quick. Hold on.
And that is essentially his race done. He might be able to get back out of the pits in
No,
15th.
the replay wasn't quick enough.
Oh my goodness.
It was a long time ago.
I just caught him as he was pulling into his pit stall.
Oh, well, that'll definitely be it for, well, he misses pit box too.
That
Oh
is
no.
ultimate frustration. He is screaming right now. Absolute insanity.
What is he
And
doing? I
I don't think it matters if he gets it, with repairs. He's going to be coming out behind Jeff at best. No, he's not making it. He must have serious damage to the car. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to find this here on the replay myself. So go ahead and I'll get back to you when I have the information.
Yeah, well, in the replay, we did a 30-second replay and it wasn't long enough. So he's been in there forever. And he readjusted the car's position 2 or 3 times. So there's something else wrong here that we were missing. Maybe it's a configuration
Oh
problem.
no. No, he got loose going over to 130 and he got massive snapback oversteer about as hard as you could ever go into the safer barrier and the tire wall. He pulls off, waits, incredible amount of suspension damage, waits for Xavier to go by, rejoins, goes through the casino triangle and limps it into pit lane. He can barely get the car into pit lane.
Oh,
So his
yikes.
race is over. He's probably looking at over a minute of repairs there. I don't think that would be red flag conditions if this was real life. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah,
If we were
oh,
anywhere
no,
on
no
pavement.
doubt. Absolutely no doubt there.
So I think he had problems getting the car angled in the pit box properly because I'm looking at this replay. He's fighting it down pit lane. The car's steering is that misaligned. Oh yeah, full 120-degree lock to the left just to get it in the pit stall.
Yikes. Well,
So
I
that's
would
his
believe it based
race.
on your description. That sounds pretty brutal.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. That is his race over. And now, last week we had Arjona take the checkered flag, and this week we have his unofficial teammate in Xavier Castaño Muñez. So it would be a wonderful day for Gulf Racing and GPX to bring home back-to-back wins. They
You
are
are
a
not.
formidable team.
You speak the truth, my friend. It's unfortunate that that's how I had to go for Matt Higgs, but I have no doubt that Arjona and Muniz are gonna be not. I wouldn't say happy, but they'll be fine with that turn. I think.
Oh, oh yeah, it's
I have no
you
doubt
hate
that
to be
they
happy
would
at
want to
another
fight
misfortune.
for it, but having it is better than not having it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, oh no, we have a car stopped.
Benvenuti.
Benvenuti is stopped at the outside. It's called final. It's called last curve or final bend, I believe, in Japanese. I don't know what the word
We
is.
would watch it where the fight between Rachel Guerin and Larry Foster not heating up immensely as they go through the hairpin. Rachel Guerin tucked in just a little bit under Foster, but that was kind of a weird maneuver through the hairpin. Foster looks to be a little upset. The balance of the car, I mean, as they go through that long right-hander, the name of which I don't know. But Guerin is right on his tail. This is definitely the tightest battle we have so far. We might be checking up with Durazio and Burke soon. That seems to have dissolved a little bit. And then DeLuca
No,
and
Rachel's
Ramaker
got a
also.
crazy run though, going down
Yeah, look
into
at
the
that.
130. She has to lift because she doesn't want to go for it. She's
Yeah.
gonna show her
Whoop.
nose there. Scared him.
Yep. Let's give him a little spook. Spook
Give
him.
him a spook. I think we're talking about a matter of time here before Larry makes a mistake. He's a stalwart driver,
Ooh,
but
that
I'm
was.
not sure.
We almost saw it there. He outbroke himself in the chicane hugely. That cut off a lot of his time. Rachel had to brake actually during the chicane.
Yeah, yeah. I think give it a lap or two, and this draft, she needs to tuck in behind him right now, real tight. Get that
It's
nose out of the clean air. Get that sucker.
Ooh,
Whoa!
that was bold. I think Larry is definitely getting on the spooked side.
Whoa! What a move! And Benvenuti
That was
stopped
nice.
again out of the second Degner, just off on the side of the road here.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. He must be having some sort of electrical troubles or something.
So he's going to be fighting for that. Or Larry's going to be fighting for that, excuse me.
And
But
all the while, Chris Stevenson just inches his way up the field as best he can. For his first showing, as long as he can survive the game of attrition, I think he'll be happy with any result that's not a DNF.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, just getting the finish in is can sometimes be a challenge in itself. And so having just that thing under your belt is important.
It
And
looks
while
like
Rachel Guerin was able to pass Larry Foster, well, never mind. He was holding on through the hairpin, but he got a not very good out of the hairpin, so that's not going to be coming up roses for Larry Foster in that turn at least.
13 minutes left to go, 13:45 to be exact, and Benvenuti is still stopped coming out of the Degner. He's gonna have to get that thing moved soon. Oh, never mind. Yeah, the car has been automatically recovered by our fantastic tow truck team here. They work at the speed of light.
Yes. Well, the drivers have those Hans devices and stuff, so they don't got to worry about whiplash too much.
No, I'm pretty sure that once you get that baby up to 88 miles per hour, right into pit lane, just
Even-
instantly.
I love it. I love it.
All right, let's see. Let's see if we can find something here.
We got
Ironically,
Brandon
which
Stambuk versus Gianluca DeLuca. That's kind of appearing as a challenge on the horizon. Looks like DeLuca's got pace over Stambuk. The last couple of laps have been DeLuca's favor, not by much, but there he's whittling away the time. He was 2 seconds a lap and a half ago. Now he's down to 1.6, so he's got some pace.
looks like we just had another retirement.
We had a spin from
Um,
John Barker in
yeah,
the
I think that
chicane.
may have been because of the retirement. That might have been bad timing on that entry with Benvenuti retiring from the race. We ask all racers if they are able to withstand the the shame of remaining in pit lane, that it stops the stuttering, because unfortunately it's an issue with Kunos' servers that just can't be fixed apparently.
Hmm.
We have John Archie here doing the absolute most gentlemanly thing imaginable, sitting through now going on 40 minutes of the race. He was out of it since about the 50-minute mark almost, and that goes a long way.
Yeah, attrition is kicking in. We are down to 18 drivers, so we've lost
Yes.
4.
Well, actually 17, but John Archie has essentially retired. He's just being a gentleman and he doesn't want to cause a lag spike. And for that,
Right,
we do thank him.
right. I was referring. Oh, it's Chris Stephenson with a drive-through penalty for track limits. It
Unfortunate.
said. Oh,
Unfortunate, especially because he managed to stay above Butler this whole time here, and that's going to put him last place in the car still running, which is very unfortunate.
never
Um,
fun to have that happen.
no, shockingly, with what's happened to Higgs, Jeff is in the top 15 right now. He's somehow, with everything that has happened, all the adversity, he's only 2 spots lower than he qualified, and he's ahead of people who in the championships race. This is very important.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Jeff. I'm on record many times saying Jeff he's kind of been all over the place, like not in a bad way either. He's had good races and bad races as we all do, but he's been able to put down some frightening pace when the stars come. Like he's going around the inside of John Barker just now.
Yeah, they're gonna look like he goes too wide into the
Ooh,
130.
oh,
Barker runs
130R.
wide.
Barker tries to force the issue, but just can't make it happen. The Jeff's pace, that Jaguar, it's got lost straight line speed if I remember correctly.
Oh my goodness, does it pull?
Yep.
And
And
unfortunately,
oh,
in his
Stephenson.
frustration, yeah, he gets a 30-second stop and go for speeding. That's a major speeding in pit lane penalty. So that is unfortunate. That more or less ends his race. Although I can't say that because with 10 minutes to go in the academy race today, he managed to fix the wiring on his brake pedals, and he put the clutch where the brake goes in order to get his pedals working, and managed to get himself out on the track
Amazing.
and regain a position. So it's not impossible. We could see someone retire late into the race. Jeff and Barker are still neck and neck, and unfortunately, the rest of the track is spaced out. DeLuca and and Stambuk are all about a second and a half away from each other and closing. So that's an interesting an interesting fight developing. We've got Rachel Guerin trying her darndest to hold on to top 10 with Larry Foster, who I swear every single race, Larry Foster has been 10th place going down to the wire. Like that is where he lives. He's got a tent, he's got his sleeping bag, some marshmallows, some graham crackers.
Maybe a
This
little
guy
popcorn.
is popcorn, hot dogs, can of beans. He's got a timeshare in 10th place, and he is not giving it up for anybody.
Timeshare. Love it. Yeah, I
Speaking
mean,
of, DeLuca goes on inside of Stambuk into turns 1 and 2. Both drivers initial D'ing their way through the second portion of the corner. No contact and no off, but if I didn't know any better, I'd say they both have tofu deliveries to make right now.
you think so? Let's have maybe a little replay, shall we? So yeah, we're seeing him come up along the final corner, or the first corner rather. And oh, looks like Danbook is a little antsy, but slides it, and DeLuca gives him a little tap, but they both go sliding. Well, I'm amazed they're able to keep that so composed.
Especially in that corner when the tires are on such a full load. It's incredible. You're at maximum slip angle there, so any give is mostly a death sentence.
No kidding. It looks like we have Stephenson spun again in turn 5, I believe that is. He's rejoining right when Bilotti is coming by, and that might be a little interesting.
That's actually Butler. That's
Oh,
actually Butler.
oh, never mind.
The 74 art car Mercedes of Butler, having a really tough race here today. Higgs, though, in front of him with an even sadder day. Although I'm quite curious, it looks like I want to say there is some other shuffling going on. Nelson had a loud, quite spastic, one might even say, race to start, along with Bilotti and Jeff, and all of a sudden, they've just managed to put their heads down and push, push, push. Jeff has gained another position. I'm not sure from where either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because
He was
Butler and Higgs
14th.
were always behind him. Barker he passed not too long ago in that excellent pass around 130R.
Yeah, we're missing somebody.
Sure.
Let's see.
Dale Nelson is going at it, but his ways back.
Here, a battle to watch coming into the final 3 laps here is going to be Berg. He has been chasing and chasing and chasing all day. He's managed to get himself into the top 5, and he is going all out. He's sandwiched between the 2 EOS Italians, Durazio and DeLuca. Now, luckily, DeLuca is far enough off here that he's probably a non-factor, lest there be a spin. But Berg is closing the gap 1/10 at a time through Degner and whatnot. So I look to see if he can pull off similar shades of Matt Higgs last week.
Well, similarly, I think I remember making a note maybe 10 or 15 minutes ago that he was catching up to Durazio slowly but surely. It looks like it's become even more slowly and maybe a smidge less surely, but he's still got that pace advantage, maybe a couple tenths here and there. And that's all that really matters in the end if you make it consistent enough.
Yeah, and Ramaker has a nasty run in the draft here. Not sure if he's going to be able to make a move coming out of Spoon, but he is the perfect spacing away. When we talk about lagging off the back of a driver so that you can set up a nice run coming out of a corner and into a straight using the draft, that's more or less the distance, but it looks like he got a bad run out of Spoon. I don't think he's going to be able to close the gap, which is a shame. He's going to get really, really close, though. He might be able to get it done into turn 1, but he needed to do better there. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, I think he mistimed his lineup a little bit.
Yeah, it's very, very unfortunate.
Which
And
happens.
Berg lost plenty of, yeah, Dirk lost 6/10 going into the final sector somehow. So, barring any late shenanigans,
Well,
it
you win some,
looks,
you lose some, certainly.
yeah, it looks like the running order is more or less set in stone, minus Ramaker and Stambuk. There's quite a few gaps here, so it's going to come down to mistakes from here on out.
I think we're just gonna park it here and watch for a while. There's not a lot going on. It's important to note, however, that, of course, right as I want to talk about this, I lose my sheet here. I was gonna talk about championship standings again.
Well, if while you bring that up, feel free to interrupt me. I will make small talk for you.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
as you all know, ESR is an online racing community moderated by some of the longest and best standing members of the community, such as Martin Edmonds and Michael Vegas. There's plenty of other great guys that want to help make sure that everyone has the best racing experience here. We have our own steward, Jack Havenock, and a few other people that put in an immense amount of time to make sure everything runs smoothly. If you are interested in joining a race here today, or any race for that matter on our website, you can go to esr-race.org. That's esr-race.org. You'll find a link to our Discord and a homepage full of our current ongoing events, as well as some links to our affiliates like the 3D do-it-yourself um, racing seat. So those can get pretty nice. I know that Martin has a custom one being made in the golf colors, which is quite on topic right now, seeing as Xavier and Arjona are looking to bring it home again this week with some fantastic results.
Yes, definitely. That is definitely a good case. And while in the meantime, while that was happening, we saw Stambuk get really uneasy. I believe out of Degner 2, and Ramaker has been able to catch back up a little. Or yeah, Ramaker has been able to catch back up a little bit as a result, but not quite as much as I think he was hoping.
Couple
Now,
tenths here.
what I was going to say is thank you for bringing that up, by the way. Uh, Andy Burke is in some danger of losing the championship spot, the top spot. We only have 2 races left, including this one, and he's currently got a 17-point advantage over Arjona, who is second. Higgs stood to gain considerably by a victory, but it would still be a little rough. And Eugenia isn't here, but Muniz could leapfrog quite a few people with this victory if he provided he holds on to it, of course, as we enter the last few laps. Um, I forget exactly what the point spread between the two. Oh, so it's only 4 points between the first place and second. Never mind. He doesn't stand to lose that much. But he will be he will
I believe
be.
it's 7, but max points is 70 because you can get 2 for fast lap and 3 for pole position.
Oh yes, that's correct. I forgot about that.
I believe it's 7 points difference.
Ah, yeah, I was just looking at the scoring sheet. But it will put Arjona within striking distance of Andrew Burke, so it's going to give him something to worry about. Burke has still got a pretty respectable 5th place, and he's doing well to continually track down Durazio. So here we get to see Ramaker maybe set up another pass attempt on Stambuk.
I think if he plays his cards right, he absolutely could get him going down the front stretch here. That Lexus has absolute just raw V8 power. It grips up super well in the low speed stuff. So if he's taking care of those rear tires and not spun them up too bad, if he gets a run coming out of this here Casino Triangle, which he does, he
Oh yeah,
may
look at
just have
that.
enough draft. He may just have enough draft to maybe not. I'm not sure what's
Uh,
happening here.
I mean,
Maybe
might
he
have had a traction
clipped the
control issue of some sort.
traction. Yeah, maybe he has it turned up a bit. He had quite a run. Maybe he backed off, got nervous. It's important to note though that the final race of the season is going to be at Spa. It is going to be a 1.5 times length race, so it's going to be a 90-minute race, still 1 pit stop. So tire management, it's going to be basically 2 45-minute sprint races, and you also have to remember that it's double points. So whatever happens now, you can make that gap up.
Yeah,
In theory, you could make up a total of 14 points, I believe. Well, 14 points just for the position. Never mind the additional let's see, the additional
fastest lap.
5, 10. So that'd be 24 points So you can make up 24 points in the final race if you get pole position, fastest lap, and win the race, and the other person comes in second. So
An
it's
insane amount.
an insane amount. It is an insane amount.
Yeah, and
But
so
it's
that
important to have that. Sometimes you got to play catch up.
well with
Great
people
equalizer.
of with drivers of the caliber up front. Also Muniz is coming around the final corner as we speak, so this will be last lap. We're now watching Sean Kinney versus Carlo Durazio. It was going to be intense, but it looks like Durazio had a little, Durazio had a little oops at the beginning of Spoon there. So this battle might be over. We might want to watch Stambuk versus Ramaker one more time as they exit Spoon.
And
With that,
congratulations to Xavier. This is his first win at ESR. So congratulations. You did a great job as he
oh
puts it into the
yes,
fence.
I didn't realize that. I forgot. Yeah, Javier Castaño Muniz, Albert Ahuna across the finish line. Stambuk and Ramaker coming to the last corner. Can Ramaker get the launch? It doesn't look like it. He looks like he lost some time through that
No,
chicane. Yeah,
doesn't
no,
look
it's
like he has the
there's
grunt.
a huge gap in there.
Unfortunate, but it looks like that's where it's going to end here. Um, seems
Rachel
like
Guerin
everybody's in
appearing in
their
the
spots.
distance. Larry Foster must have had some off or something. He's a ways back.
Yeah,
Just now running the
yeah.
final corner.
Rachel came up behind him and got around him and just kept it going. Sean Kenny, by the way, not to take away from Xavier's absolutely amazing drive today. He did exactly what he had to do. He hit his laps every time. And if you do that, opportunity, when it arises, you can take it. They do say that luck is not just the ability to have, or not just having something happen that's fortuitous to you, but you create your own luck by putting yourself in the position to take advantage of it. And that's what he and Albert did here today. So congrats to both of them. Congrats to his first race. I'm sure that Albert, and Jeff will be ecstatic about this in the AXRT Discord later today. Special shout out to Sean Kenny, who has had an absolutely horrendous season.
Oh
Every
yes,
possible mistake that not even his mistakes, but just he was just a magnet all season. But somehow he managed to drop the magnets, get that extra stuff out of the car, he got out the sage, some crystals, a Himalayan salt rock, and it looks like he managed to get it all together today and get that third place. So congrats to him.
indeed, indeed. So before it disappears, Javier Castaño Muniz are running or our finishing order in first place. Congratulations, the AXRT Porsche Albert Ahuna in second, following closely. Sean Kenny in third, running out our podium. Carlo Durazio in fourth, and Drew Burke in fifth. Wasn't able to catch him at that last second. I think he lost some time actually. Gianluca De Luca in sixth. Brandon Stambuk in seventh, holding off Chris Ramaker. I almost called him Carlos. Rachel Guerin in ninth, making up a couple of spots with a fairly steady race. Larry Foster in 10th. David Nelson, I believe, also gaining a spot, but not holding as much as I think he wanted to. Bilotti in 12th. Jeff 13th. Higgs, unfortunate, qualifying second, having a great race, falling back to 14th. The Julios, as I call them, because I always mix up their names and just call them Julio. You got um, John Barker and James Butler in 15th and 16th. Chris Stevenson 17th, Marco Benvenuti 18th, Paul Hoppa in 19th, and Gianmarco Silvestri in 20th. It looks like.
21st would
Sorry, go ahead.
be of our non-completers or non-completions would be Archie, Turcotte, and Jerome. So unfortunately, it looks like Jerome wasn't even able to start the race, and Archie and Turcotte only made 4 laps. Very unfortunate for those drivers today.
So looking at the really quickly looking at some driver chat going on right now. Matt Higgs commenting that yeah, indeed he did crash at 130R as we noticed. Um, Arjona was meanwhile being very careful of that kind of thing. And yeah, pretty much just drove it on through.
Excellent. So
But yes,
that
so
was quite the race.
yes, with that all soonly all our information will be updated on the ESR race app section of our website. Um,
Yep, stay tuned for that. That'll be
yeah,
updated going into probably Tuesday.
definitely, definitely. And so we'll have that available ready for you. We'll also do a review of the championship going into the last race at Spa, which is in 2 weeks. That
Yes, it
is
is.
April 10th. No, April 11th. That was close. And so that will be definitely very, very fun. Look forward to seeing you all there. Meanwhile, we unfortunately don't have time for an interview today, but it's okay. We got a lot of information out of this. If you like what you saw, visit, as Justin said earlier, visit our Discord. We have a website, a really fun website. But yeah, so that is all for our round 6. Round 6. Next round is at Spa, as I mentioned earlier. Any final words, Justin? Oh, I
We
forgot. We
do
almost.
have some final words if we have
Yeah,
time. I don't want to cut into the next series.
I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good. We got
All
a little
right.
bit of time left.
So
Yes.
I'll make this quick. Going into next season, I want to get this out early. We've been on a lot of the newer cars for quite some time now. These series, they tend to drag on every other week. So to keep things fresh, to keep things exciting, the GT Challenge for next season is going to be going to 2016. We're going back to the future, baby. We are
What?
going, yep, we're going to ESR's Blanc Pain 2016, where you're going to be able to see some of the least competitive cars in modern era be competitive with each other. We got Rexes, we got Jaguars, we got V12s, okay? We got 2015 Nissans, okay? We are painstakingly going to allow every car that raced in the 2016 season of the Blanc Pain series into this series. It's going to be curated carefully. We're going to be having featuring teams next season, as well as a new and tested ballast system. So you have your winner's ballast. Get excited for that. But I hope to see you all there. Early bird registration will be opening as soon as this clip goes up on the Discord. You can Discord me, or you can Discord PM me, Justin, at ESR, with your Steam ID number and the car and livery which you would like to reserve. We're doing a full custom entry list, so you will be allowed to have custom numbers. And I will be posting some more information about the available car list and everything else going up immediately following this race. So I hope to see you all there. I hope to see you back next season. And it's going to be really exciting to get a big change of pace and things, because I don't think anyone else has done this yet. And if you want to get an idea of the track list, go ahead and check out the Blanc Pain 2016 Wikipedia page, and you can check out the track list there. We're going to be plucking a few. We're going to have most of that schedule, but we are going to be tweaking a few dates. We're not going to be running Nürburgring twice. We're not going to be running a 10 race season. And we're also going to mix in a few of the international and DLC tracks, because I know you all love that. So I'm sorry for taking up any extra time. I can't wait to see you in the Discord after this. I can't wait to see the excitement for the new series coming up for the following the finale at Spa. And yeah, have fun out there. It's gonna be great. I'm excited.
I gotta say, I am equally excited. I am stoked. I love the old cars. Can you tell me, will there be BMW M6 GT3?
Yes, the BMW debuted in 2016, despite saying it's a 2017 model in game. So the BMW will be there. The Rex is there. It debuted in 2015, not 2017. Some other things of note: you've got the 650S. That's a different one. Not a lot of
Yeah,
people see that on this one. So if you want to drive something different, you want to be unique, you want to take a chance, now's the time to do it, because everybody's going to be slow. Well,
couldn't
slower.
could not agree more. I'm stoked for the series. It'll be good to get some more variety in there. I hear the docket is going to be packed full of good tracks and interesting different scenarios that we have to overcome, and I cannot wait to see how that folds out for our next series. So that's starting. The schedule isn't up yet, but it's starting almost directly after this one, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to have as little downtime as possible. You know what? I'm in such a good mood. I'm so sleep deprived. I'm so excited for the next series. I'm going to tell you right now. Here's a little secret. We are
Oh,
opening the season at Bathurst.
ooh, just like the good old days.
Absolutely. So if you're going to come correct, if you're going to come correct, because Bathurst takes no prisoners at
Yeah,
all.
you speak the truth, brother. That is so very true. Wow,
All
what an
right.
exciting announcement. Anyway,
Yeah,
that is all the time we have today. Unfortunately, Sunday is our action-packed race day. But yeah, like I said, visit esr-race.org. Visit our Steam, Discord, Twitch, all that. Or I guess not Steam, but Discord and Twitch. Um,
and our
new
YouTube channel.
and our YouTube channel, of course. Hope to see you guys all for our next race, and you better be there. No, I'm just kidding.
Absolutely.
Have a good week, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you next time.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.